So, being the Vice Chancellor of Consortium Global University, what is your philosophy on leadership? How would you describe your leadership style?
As a Vice Chancellor, my philosophy has all along been for the maximum benefit of the students. Benefit in the sense that I am more worried about their career, their development, development also the holistic development. Holistic development, I mean, there should be a complete, thorough change in their personality so that really they are able to present themselves as a very useful citizen for the country. And also, they are able to compete anywhere they go on the globe. So, in our institute, our university, we have designed our curriculum, we have designed our other co-curricular activities, we have designed our other interface, we have designed some certain say tie-ups with the other foreign universities and the industries. So thereby all the conglomeration of all these aspects will shape the students and they will make the students very, very confident, they will empower them and they will also ignite in the students that they will be very, very passionate to be always proactive and they will be ready to take up any assignment that comes their way. At the same time, we also prepare them to face any challenges in their life, may it be their personal life, the social life, economic life, or even in the case of contribution to their contribution in the nation. So my philosophy, I feel that I have been very, very successful for my students as the results itself will show that most of our students, they have been able to secure job, they have gone for their own startup, they have started their own enterprise and they have also earned good name not only for the university but also for themselves, for their family, even for the society.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I wanted to know how does the curriculum of Consortium Global University ensure the best practices in the industry?
For curriculum, my approach has been that we have taken some 3-4 aspects in the curriculum. Our curriculum is a combination of all those things which are where our university is located. We have taken into consideration all the requirements of the local industries, local people in the society. Number one. Number two, what is happening in the entire nation, that also we have taken into account. Added to it, we have also added the developments that are taking place at the international level. Many of the say Ivy League universities, they have come out with so many curriculum changes in the curriculum that those curriculum changes we also have incorporated, and thereby our curriculum is a balanced curriculum and it takes care of the theoretical knowledge at the same time dissemination of the general other knowledge about the subject, about the area and the scope of those areas at the same time. So their personal interaction and interface with the industry with a more emphasis on the practical aspect of their training. That really has put them in a good state. As because of the practical training, they have been able to fit in when they go to the industry or for any employment. Because mostly the functionality of the output of the student, that has been always been at a critical phase. Because when the students they pass out from the university, when they go and join any industry, then they feel really they are not at all aware of what is the requirement of the industry. And the industry people also, they have to love to give them or make them on training. But we have taken into consideration all the requirements of the industry because our curriculum has been designed when the industry people also have been consulted. It has been weighted by the industry people. It has been also weighted by the academicians, those who are having the vast experience, exposure and knowledge in this area. So thereby we have made the curriculum itself so wholesome that the delivery and dispensation of that and the delivery of those curriculum have kept our students in a firm position and they have been able to face the challenge of the industry. So our students, mostly they have been accepted by the industry. The main cause being our interface with the industry people, they very often we call them there to interact with our students. During the course of interaction, identify our students. And at the same time, when they interact with the students, they also point out you are lacking in these areas, and that we try to supplement and complement after we learn from them, after we know that what are the areas which are deficient areas and where we should bring our improvement. So this is a continuous process. Once actually normally in the previous decade, it used to happen that once the syllabus is framed, that syllabus only will be implemented. But our say even the 6 monthly review is there. Our board of studies they sit every 6 months and they will review the syllabus. They will take into consideration all the changes that have taken place in and around, and they will try to assimilate all those things so that the students are not deprived of any latest techniques or latest knowledge or not latest idea that are required for the syllabus. So in that way, the syllabus itself is really the crux of all the solutions. Because the deliverables, if the deliverables are not complete, or if they are not really charged with all these requirements, then it fails to really deliver. So this we have ensured that our curriculum is a very broad-based curriculum with all synthetic outlook and with all vision and all the strategies that are required for the future challenges and meeting them.
Sir, can you share some insights as to how is the university more welcoming to students of different races and economic backgrounds?
Here, for welcoming the students, that one principle that we have adopted, that we have given the equal treatment to all. We have not differentiated between the ethnic races, with the race, creed, color, and the language, because we are having students now, not only our say national domestic students are there, local students are there, then our students from Pan India is there, then we have students from South Africa, then we have students from Bhutan, from Bangladesh, we have students from Sri Lanka, and a few of the say other countries also the students they are in the pipeline. So these students when they come there, they get a platform whether a brotherhood or the cross culture really they say actually interact with them each other, and they start loving and they start say, liking the other culture, and our say this mess that we have made for all the students. There also the exchange of culture is there. We have taken care that the food that is prepared for the students, that also probably is very, very palatable to them. And accordingly, our menu also are decided by the students. So number one, we have taken for their comfortable stay. Number two, say when normally for a students who is coming from other country who are not very comfortable in the English language, we have a system of having the foundation course. So we train them in say the English language, speaking language of the English language, so that they become very, very familiar with this one. Third, that our faculty members are so much friendly. Many of the faculty members, they are residing in the campus. So because they are residing in the campus, so they are free to consult them, contact them, and meet them, and mix up with them even in the evening. Even the library, which remains open late in the evening, so when they come there, they will meet so many our faculty members also. So one sort of cohesion, one sort of say guardianship, and one sort of a friendly atmosphere that is created. The fourth aspect of the care that we are taking the students, that we for any sort of any small problems also, we take care of them. Suppose even the medical department is there, immediately our warden, our dean, our student welfare, he will immediately take to the doctor. Although the doctor visits our own university, they are sitting here for the whole day, but say in the night, if that any requirement is there, so the medical care also is completely taken care of. And then, so we have so many, say, the sports activities, the cultural activities. So these activities also they give a platform to them so that they exhibit their own culture, their own say art, and in that way, really, our students also who are local students are from the domestic students, they are also able to learn so many things, and they are also able to learn anything. I tell you, some African students who are from Ghana, from Kenya, Mozambique, Eritrea, Seychelles, all these countries, those students who are studying with us. So those students now, they have mingled so much that they come out with their programs, and our students also, here students also, they come out with their program. And there is a complete say now rapport with them, so that these overall these things that make them very very comfortable here. And once a students come, he doesn't even want to go to the native place even if the vacation has been declared. So that sort of environment, a congenial, smooth environment for their studies as well as for their stay, as well as also for their mingling and mixing up and the different activities that are there, they keep themselves engaged. So in that way, they do not feel this is home away from home. That philosophy we are having, and we are as a friend, philosopher, and guide for the students. We are their guardians, we are their parents, and with this sort of love and affection that we shower on them, so they feel very very comfortable. And I feel the number of the students who are now increasing year by year, that itself shows that our treatment to them has been very very nice, has been very friendly, and that's the reason that our number of students are increasing day by day.
Sir, I wanted to know what do you think are your responsibilities towards the university as well as the students?
Yeah. As a vice chancellor, my responsibility, I always say, look that in another 10 years where my university will go, what I am having planning for my students. So in that way, I have broad-based, and I always strategize. Our mission and vision and mission is so broad that here the every student who actually passes out from this one, he is going as a catalyst for change. We are churning out the students here as a brigade of change leaders. So once actually if they go from here, everybody can make out that he is a student from Home Sterling Global University. So that sort of a distinct identity that we have tried to inculcate in them, we have tried to imbibe in them, we have tried to say ignite a fire in them, so that they are always bubbling with the spirit, bubbling with confidence, and they are so much having confidence on themselves that they are ready to face any challenge. So as a vice chancellor, my say, future plan for the students are that they should not only confine themselves only to their studies, because they have to be a change leader, and that change leader, the change that will come only when they are aware of the entire say, atmosphere that is prevailing in at the global level. So we have some exchange program also we have made from the foreign universities. Our students, they go there for one trimester, their students they come, and our faculty members also they go there, they come. So in that way the enrichment program is there, and the faculties, once the faculty they are really very very enlightened, they only can pass on those enlightenments and those knowledge and wisdom to our say students. So in that way I am always trying that apart from the teaching that is delivered, the training and development of both the faculties and their students, they go side by side, so that their students, they not only are say theoretical experts, they are having good knowledge of theory, but at the same time their interpersonal relation also, their behavior also, their etiquettes, their manners. So these things also should be distinct, and they should always be known that they are from the Home Sterling Global University. Whenever they go and talk to anybody, they meet anybody, they present anybody. So in that way, so we have many occasions that we have sent as a representative, our representative as an ambassador, they have gone for say any tournament to other universities, or they have gone for any debating competition, they have gone for any other experimentation, and they have gone to participate in many other activities that are there. We also conduct, we invite so many students from different universities. Our students also they give. I tell you, yeah, our students they have really made their mark, and that gives us a lot of satisfaction that we really have visualized for the students that they are really an asset for the not only for the nation, they are asset for the entire world. So in that way, so my vision is that we want that each and every student who passes out from here, he should be a potential contributor to the society at large.
Sir, I again wanted to know what do you think are the top priorities for the university over the next 10 years?
The next 10 years, my first of all, say our university is only say 2 years old now. So my perception for this university that I see within 10 years, I will be almost say competing or even excelling the global benchmark. By global benchmark, when I am telling, this is very, very tall claim, but I can say with very much lot of confidence that is when I am telling that I am going to match with the global benchmark. So thereby, I have tried now to introduce all the innovative ideas, all the creative ideas, and all such things which the peer group of the universities, like say the Harvard, the MIT, the Stanford, the Kellogg, the Wharton, all these universities, Yale University for that matter, and even in Europe also some universities are there, like Oxford, Cambridge, and the London School of Economics. So we are always keeping in our mind what all the developments they are taking place, what are all the researches are going on. So, and we have tried to make it research oriented. We have always been throughout the studies, we have been giving so many projects to our students. So they execute the project, they take the project, execute it, and they learn it, and thereby they also come to know the shortcomings of it. They may fail, but then the failure will not be a stumbling block for them, because that will be a lesson for them, and immediately they will step into it. So another 10 years, I assure you, not only the committee of universities in India, but I can definitely, our university can compete with any other global university who have really created a record from them, and they are known for their intellectual property and the academic delivery, academic dispensation.
Sir, when you first went to university, what was your vision for the university, and has it evolved over time, and how far along are you in implementing that vision?
I am a person who fortunately is carrying some more than 40 years of experience and exposure of the academic world, even in the say India and overseas. So my vision is that how the things are moving in the education world, how the Western world, how they have now progressing. Now, especially now when the pandemic has forced us the face-to-face, we cannot go for the face-to-face classes now. So we have already started our system online classes, and we are very much connected with the students, and they are also actually connected with us. So I visualize that even this platform also have been really very comfortable for us, and we have trained our teachers that how you can engage classes in these times also, how this academic delivery on online academic delivery that can be say really fruitful and useful. How this will interaction also this can take place. So here also we have tried to make the classes very, very interactive. We have allowed the students to put their queries. That is, apart from the queries that they can raise while the lectures are going on, they are free because we have created some platforms whether they can suit their queries, and our faculty members immediately they will attend and they will send back the reply to them, and their queries will be satisfied. So thereby, so the vision of an educational institute should be that how best you are really trying to grasp the problem of the students, because our entire process now we are now making a transition from teaching to learning. It's not only teaching, it's a transition from teaching to learning. We are making them learn themselves. They are doing their things on their own. We are simply a facilitator. Virtually any of the practical classes or any of the demo that they give, they only are say in the command, and our faculty members they are only the background. They are only in the back seat, and our students only are in the forefront. So this vision, this approach, and this strategy has yielded results also. And if you happen to meet our students, then only you can make out that what all I say, whether these things can be very well tested when you personally meet the students. So to add further, my students, I will like that they should really be a real asset for the nation. They should be able to contribute to the nation, and they should simply not only complete their studies, carry their degree, go home and do some odd jobs. Wherever they go, they must create ripples, and they must make others feel that the studies that they have made, it is really definitely different from the rest of the colleges or the universities. And here are the students who students can take up or accept any challenge, and they can be in any circumstances, they can flourish. That sort of vision I'm having, so that a complete, a holistic development of the students will come out, and they will be a perfect, complete personality, a very good citizen, one of the best citizens of India. That is our vision, to change them and to make them.
Sir, what is it that you would like people to know about the university, which many people might not be knowing?
Yeah. Yeah, our university, as I told you, although we are 2 years old in the university setup, but we have been running the engineering college, management college, college of architecture for almost more than a decade, almost 12 years. Back there's our Honorable Chancellor Dr. Puneet Goyal and Honorable Pro-Chancellor Dr. Poonam Goyal, themselves being a medical practitioner, they left their practice and they have started this institute. So they also have a lot of, put in their heart and soul in this institution. So now our university, we have tried now, number one, our intellectual property, our faculty members. That is the one thing that has created a furor, and that has created ripples in the whole of the academic world, that we have chosen the faculty who really have very good qualification, very good background, very good teaching experience, and our faculty members are a mix of from the teaching as well as from the industry. So that makes it further useful for the students, because they bring the experiences, their sweet and sour experiences from the industry, and that's why our industry students, when they learn, they will not commit the same mistakes. So number one, our intellectual property, intellectual capacity is very, very strong. Number two, the students that we have taken. So we have conducted a psychometric test of the students, and the aptitude test we have conducted, so that we know that what actually is best suited for the students. Normally, any college, they admit the students and simply they start teaching them. But we entirely have a different pattern. We go for their aptitude, to what is maximum suitable for them. Number three, we have said now we are having choice-based credit system, which the UGC have been harping upon, and only a few private universities they have introduced. But we are the first university here in this region who has introduced the choice-based credit system. There a student has the choice of taking any other paper than what they are actually reading and what is prescribed in their syllabus. So that gives them another opening for them, another extra mile they can run, and they can acquire some extra knowledge. Then the interdisciplinary classes also we have started. Interdisciplinary, I mean, somebody is a science student, he is studying physics, chemistry and math. He can even take music. He can go and take his philosophy class. He can go for a psychology class. So likewise, these things in the new education policy now, these things are coming now. But then we visualized, and we say these things are very much required for our students. That's why we have, from earlier itself, we have introduced these things. So these things are for the students, and this will increase our, not only our brand, our visibility, but also our name also will grow. And many other, say, college and university, they have taken as a role model, and they are following also whatever we are doing. So in that way, I feel really we have been able to project our image, and gradually, so we are now, we are already known now in the whole of India, almost part, because we are having students. As why we are known in the whole of India, the proof is that we are having students from Kerala, we are having from Telangana, we are having from Andhra Pradesh, we are having from Tamil Nadu, and then we are having from Northeast, all 7 states of Northeast, we are having some students. We are having more than 200, 250 students from Nepal. Then we are having some other students from this Africa, I told you, South Africa, we are having so many students. So these all, say, unless and until our name has gone to them, they have come across the name of the Home Sterling Global University, they won't have made a choice to come over here. So slowly we are making a dent, and we are expanding, and we are taking the name of Home Sterling Global University far and wide. And God willing, probably within a few years, definitely we are going to be an international university. That is our real vision, to make it a global, real global. The name that we have selected, we have chosen global and sterling. In global also, we will have the sterling performance, so that we will be really, in the true sense of the term, we will be an international university.
Uh, Sir, what suggestion would you like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students who will be joining university this year?
My suggestions to the student is that you have to take the education very, very seriously. Seriously, in the sense, I am telling that you have to be very pursuit about the studies. It is not the teachers that really are only going to teach you. It is the you who has to teach yourself. Now, say this is our faculty members, as I told you, they are quite having experience and they are quite rich in their own faculties. But at the same time, it is up to the students that how best they can take advantage of it. Number two, the suggestion to my students that they should devote the time in their classes very, very meticulously, very cautiously, and they should not say while over their time. Now, number three, they should always say have their practical orientation. Because whatever they have been taught, unless and until they practice it in practice, really they will not be able to learn the things. So that is my third suggestion. The fourth suggestion is that they must be very, very active in other activities also. They must partake just in sports, they must partake in other extracurricular activity, they must partake in cultural activities, they must have all sorts of creativity and innovation. They must participate because there are ample opportunity we will provide for them. So this opportunity, they have to grab these opportunities. Next, these students, we will be sending them to the different industries for their internship or for their training. In that really, that is the golden opportunity for them that to impress those employers, or those trainers, those supervisors. And for 1.5 months or 2 months when they are there for internship or the training, there you are wonderful opportunity lies before you for learning so many things. Because that after all the industry are only we are sending you to very good industries who have really made their own name and they have already established themselves. So in that way the students, the external exposure to their students, that also is very, very important. Then, so we always hold this one seminar, conferences, workshops, and we really promote and we encourage our students, motivate our students that they should present their papers, they should discuss their papers, and they also should always partake and participate in such events. So in that way, so all these things really, if the students they take care of themselves, they definitely the students can have a good result, and at the same time, result in the sense, not only the result in the, so their CGP will be very, very high, their ability also, their empowerment also, and their capacity to face the challenges also, that also will be better if they are really having these all sorts of things with them. And added to it, I can say my advice to the student is that they must see that where they are and what is their aim. So the gap between the exact position on which their pedestal or platform they are standing and their aspirations and dreams of reaching to that point, these gap, how to bridge that gap, that planning has to be made right now. And they should make a very scientific planning, a very proper planning, that how they are going to reach that one. Because only simply dreaming really is not going to help unless and until they are very, very proactive, they are very, very sincere about it, very, very serious about it. So in that way, I use the term seriousness because I want the students, they should be always happy and they need not be serious, but serious in the sense that they take it as a challenge. They must say, when they have come, they have left their house. The parents have lot of hopes in them. And the parents, they always want the value for their money. So when they are spending money, they will want the value, and the value will come only when they really go after leaving this institute or the college or the university, when they are really capable and they are really able to deliver to the outside world. So these things have to be kept in mind. And the students, their 4 year, 5 years period, They may be for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years courses or 5 years courses. The 4 or 5 years, these period are the golden periods for them. If they have always been telling, if you toil, if you put in your best in these periods, you are going to enjoy the whole life and you are going to be contributor to the nation, to the society, to your parents and to yourself. But if you are whiling away this time, then that really is going to be a big problem for all of you. But we, our teachers, along with me, we are very, very vigilant. We have a watch on each and every student personally, and we monitor their development right from their personal development to the academic development and their other activities also. It is always in the watch, and we always are in touch with their parents, so that we will always briefing the parents that your students are doing like this, and we always take their advice also. That's why often we call also the parents also, so that we get their feedback. And the feedback of the students also, we are getting not only from our teachers, we are also getting from the industry people, we are also getting from the other stakeholders, and also from the peer group. So in that way, taken together, my suggestion to the student is that you have come here to go out from here as an entirely a different personality. So really spend the time and respect your teachers, and also you try that what best you can get from the issue. Although our always efforts are that we definitely will pour in them the maximum possible the ingredients that will really good for them and that will be very, very useful for them.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you.